what's up, all you burner stones and potheads? This is Weedman 420 with the Weedman 420 Chronicles. How are all you vipers doing out there, Mrs. Weedman?
Mr. Weedman.
How the hell are you?
Fantastic.
I love it. Hey, all you vipers out there in the world, hopefully you're smoking some big fat doinks while you're listening to the show. But before Mrs. Weedman and I get normal, today Mrs. Weedman and I are covering some awesome cannabis research with some science and help thrown into there. Also some political news, international news, and then Mrs. Weedman's going to end it with some cannabis culture. We're super stoked. But now, let's get normal. And we're going to throw a homie his own flower because he's been so gracious with all the great strains we've been smoking. But he gave us one of our favorite strains, Lake Effect, grown by our homie Midwest Terps. This one's out for you, Midwest Terps. We thank you for all the great weed from the Illinois versus Michigan Midwest Terp Off, but this one is out for you, homie. We appreciate you. So Lake Effect is widely recognized for delivering deeply calming, blissful body high accompanied by gentle mental relaxation. The initial onset introduces a gentle, clear-headed mood boost that melts away stress. It creates a heavy, soothing physical sensation perfect for unwinding in the late evening. Many users note that the strain stimulates a little hunger as the physical high settles in. And that's Lake Effect, grown by our homie Midwest Terps. Thanks for throwing to the cause. Hopefully we appreciate it. And as we always say, you give us a nug or some buds, we got to smoke it on the show, right, Ms. Weedman? We've been doing this for 7 years, and that is the one rule I've always kept. If you're a home grower or caregiver grower or just passionate about the grow that you do, throw us some buds and we'll throw you a shout out on the show. And we appreciate all the weed we get from everybody. Thank you so much. And now Mrs. Weedman's going to tell you a little about 8decades.com. Tell us about Mrs. Weedman.
Yes. 8 Decades is our baby. It is our cannabis lifestyle brand. And you could find out more about it at 8decades.com. That is EIGHT decades.com. We have our custom smoke set that we created. It's all stainless steel, 16 gauge. It's your forever rolling set. It's intended to be sitting out on your table and starting the conversation about cannabis. Mm-hmm. You'll also find storage jars. You'll find hemp clothing and all sorts of goodies. And you'll find things for the Weedman 420 show.
Yay.
Swag, that is. Bags, pins, shirts, hoodies, all sorts of good stuff. And if you sign up for our newsletter, you will get free shipping on your first order. So head on over and by purchasing from us, you are supporting the show. So head over to 8decades.com.
We love it. As we always say, you support 8decades.com. We get to pay our producer, Shawty, because we love her and we need her. So thank you for the support, everybody out there. Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
That weed tastes great.
Yes, it
Lake Effect. It also smells like baby poop.
Baby poop.
It does, in a good way. Good
the
baby.
best way.
Good baby poop. We had a great day today. Today is Tuesday, 5/19/2026, and we had a fun day today because we got invited to check out a cultivation over in the west side of Chicago called Cannabis Campus.
It is amazing.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to let Miss Weedman.
Yeah.
I love architecture. I love cool buildings, but this blew Mrs. Weedman away, this 234,000 square foot behemoth of a craft cultivation, infuser, transportation. But I'm going to let Mrs. Weedman talk about this building. Tell us about it, Mrs. Weedman.
It's a beautiful building, and we're not ready, I don't believe, to release addresses or anything. They're not quite ready for business yet, so we got a little preemptive tour.
Sneaky peek.
And it's a 2-story Chicago warehouse, but a beautiful one that has windows, and on the second floor are these beautiful skylights and just windows wrapping the entire building. Like every wall is windows. It's beautiful. There's so much natural light. High ceilings, concrete posts, like your old warehouses that you can literally drive a locomotive through. Mm-hmm. They could support the weight. These buildings are just monsters. And they have done this just beautiful build out. And the idea is that it is literally a campus for cannabis growth. Mm-hmm. So they are going through all of the logistics, all of the formalities to have a cultivation, infusion, and all of the licenses and wherewithal.
Beverage.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yes. So this facility will be for white labeling. So there will be one big producer that's in there, and they will grow their own product and simultaneously be doing white label growing and white label infusing and white label beverages. So it's an incubator for cannabis. It's very, very, very impressive. And it will grow over time because they, at this point, my understanding is they have more square footage than they can use. By law, you can only grow to X amount of square footage and X amount of plants. So
for a craft cultivation.
Yes.
Yeah, they have the 14,000 square foot license.
So there's more space than they need.
Yep.
So they have plenty of room to grow, and they can be a little metropolis, a hub, let's say, in the city to source out to all of their 100 and some odd dispensaries that are within like 3 miles of the place. I mean, this place, the logistics, the machine that it can be in time, it will be very fun to watch. And it was really cool to get in there and see it before all of the equipment goes in, and kind of envisioning what it's going to look like when it's filled with plants. It is just really something special. So there will be more to come. We'll share more information as we
in the weeks to come.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're the tour was amazing. We got a tour, about an hour tour, and then a little talk and about the building and about the logistics and what they're doing with the white labeling and grow but the building, they have a moon tower. I want to party in the moon tower. That's how cool it is. I want to go up there and smoke a big fat doink in the moon tower. It was pretty badass. I mean, the building is just, oh my God. The concrete pillars, right? You would call them.
Yeah.
There were so many to hold the upstairs. The upstairs is all concrete.
It's just open floors. I mean, like the rooms are 5, 6, 7, 8,000 square feet of open space without walls. So all of these pillars and posts are supporting the second floor above it. Yeah. And it's architecturally, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's
gosh.
Cool. But it is going to be just such a cool space, because you think all of these brands that might want to bring their product here, I mean, this is everything. You can make gummies there. You can make beverages there. You can make vapes there. You could grow flower there. You could make concentrates there. I mean, they have a vault like bigger than many houses.
Yes.
They have a loading dock that will be all inside the building, so that everything is so secure and safe. So your transporters come into the building completely safe, away from the weather, away from any like safety concerns. They fill their truck, they do all their things they need to do, and zoom, they're out the door.
Yep.
All of this will just be happening under a roof. It's very cool. Cannabis Campus.
What a
there
name.
Can be education. There's things that they don't even know that they can do yet that they're going to be able to do. You know, it's just going to take shape, and it's going to be really cool.
It was a lot of fun being there and getting the experience to see from the build out up, you know, and walking the floors upstairs and downstairs.
I mean, this can provide opportunity white label. So if you have you can't use a loan, right? So if you have cash for a mom and pop startup for a brand, this could be your place. Like, they are handling all the licensing and they're labeling for you. So you bring your genetics to them and they'll grow it for you. And maybe there's going to be a point in time where someone else could be in there growing.
Possibly.
Because you'd be an employee of the space. And it's just cool.
The opportunities are endless. So if you're around the country and you want to get into the Illinois market, Cannabis Campus, got to find them. Check them out. They're pretty cool. So
connect with us and we'll connect you with them.
Yep, absolutely. So I was scrolling through articles, and I have a new thing I'm going to do. I'm becoming an athlete again.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to start training.
Okay.
Starting next month.
What are you doing?
I'm going to be a part, forget NASCAR, forget me doing UFC. I am now going to be a part of the Sperm Racing World Cup.
Oh, my. Okay. All right. All right.
Where sperm from around the globe are literally competing to see who's the fastest.
Oh, my God. Might be too old for this race.
Are you saying my swimmers can't swim?
I don't know. Yeah.
They're using canes now. Is that what you're saying?
Old fart.
So it's like tadpole drag racing. And the event is called the 2026 Sperm Racing World Cup. And it offered a $100,000 prize. Guess how many people it featured?
2,000.
No, about 128 competitors.
Oh, that's small.
Still a lot.
So it was pretty local. Yeah. But still, it's a lot of guys that were willing to. Did they have to like mail their sperm?
They were from different countries.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Whoa. How did their sperm get over and stay alive?
They came here because it was in.
They had to come in.
It was in San Francisco.
Oh my God.
And they all the battling took place in a microscopic racetrack. Under a microscope, but it was all being shown on big screens, though, from the microscope television. being broadcasted so you could see. So the creators say more than 10,000 men worldwide applied, though.
Okay.
And competitors can represent countries based on citizenship, ancestry, residency. So people out there were scouring their genealogy records and said, hold up, Grandma. Was from Iceland. And I got a better shot at the finals right here, Grandpa and Grandma. I'm good. I can go all the way through this little swimmers thing. So as me being a grandpa one day, or as you're saying, my spermies are grandpa aged, I can definitely swim.
Okay.
So, but this is happening every year now. This is going to be crazy. So it's going to be a big event. Eventually, it might go on ESPN.
Okay.
But someone right now is bragging. They got bragging rights that they won the first ever 2026 Sperm Racing Cup.
I wonder if that person has children.
I don't know.
He doesn't know he has children.
So this might be the only race where coming in first. Hey, yo. Has completely different meaning.
Yeah. That's crazy. What does this world come to? Since we're so old, we should say things like that.
Oh,
what are these young people up to these days?
I mean,
like, what are they doing? These kids are crazy.
For $100,000?
Hey, I mean,
$100,000 out of 128 other swimmers.
Yeah, I mean,
or
why
127
not, right?
other swimmers you're going up against.
Yeah.
And it's like,
what do they have to do? Take the winner out and put it under do they have to do a DNA sequence to find out who it is? How do they figure out who it is?
Because they have it in a microscope in a petri dish.
Oh, like everybody's in a different one.
And they have one swimmer in a petri dish on one side because they probably have to take the needle to be able to pick that one sperm out and put it in there. And
that's crazy. Go. Ready, set, go.
Under a microscope setting, like the size of probably, I mean, just think how for a swimmer to swim in a petri dish, in a microscope dish, that's still a long way.
Yeah.
I wonder, probably took a few minutes or maybe like 15 minutes to get from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They do swim pretty fast,
15 minutes? Heck no.
Maybe 5 minutes?
Oh, like fast.
Faster?
I think they're fast.
Yeah?
Yeah. Sperm, how fast are sperm?
I can't believe we're actually looking this up.
They can travel 28 to 45 miles per hour at the time of ejaculation. All right, so these guys aren't being ejected. They got to get moving.
Right.
Okay, so the average individual sperm can go at 25 to 50 micrometers per second, roughly a tenth of an inch per minute. That's pretty slow.
Yeah.
So it's all about the ejaculation. I think that adds to the success.
Oh,
and that's not part of this contest.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not prematurely or long term. All right.
All right.
Before we get
back
even
on
crazy,
track.
You ready to start the show?
Yeah.
Let's do this. All right, fam. If you're a dog lover like we are, this one might hit home. We all know our furry friends become family, and hearing the word cancer attached to the pet can absolutely crush somebody. But a brand new scientific review is looking at something many cannabis consumers have talked about for years. Could CBD actually help dogs fight cancer? According to the new review published in the Journal of Frontiers in Veterinary Science, researchers found that CBD shows promising potential as an anti-cancer agent in dogs, especially in laboratory and preclinical studies. But before anybody gets too excited and starts turning their golden retriever into a four-legged bud tender, researchers are also throwing out a big reminder. More research is still needed. But the review came from the scientists of the University of Chile who took a deep dive into existing research on CBD and canine cancers. What they found is that CBD appears to have something called anti-proliferative and pro-apoptotic effects. I probably butchered the hell out of that word. Now that sounds super sciencey, but basically it means CBD can help slow the growth of cancer cells and encourage unhealthy cells to die off naturally. That's a pretty big deal in the cancer research world. The studies looked at different kinds of canine cancers, including lymphoma, mammary cancer, brain tumors, prostate cancer, bone cancer, and urinary tract cancers. Researchers found repeated signs that CBD could interfere with tumor growth pathways, helping block the spread or survival of certain cancer cells in laboratory settings. Again, though, and this part matters, most of the evidence so far comes from cell studies and preclinical work, not large-scale real-world veterinary trials. One thing that stood out in the review is that the research says CBD appears to be safe and well tolerated in dogs, which is important because any potential treatment has to be manageable for pets already dealing with difficult illnesses. Previous veterinary reviews have shown growing interest in CBD for dogs dealing with things like arthritis, anxiety, seizures, inflammation, and pain, with generally positive safety profiles when properly dosed. Now, let's keep it real for a second. This does not mean CBD cures cancer in dogs. We're not there yet. Scientists themselves are saying more work is needed to figure out the ideal dosage, product consistency, how it works alongside other medications, and whether effects seen in a lab actually translates into real-world treatment success for pets. Some studies even found CBD combinations with medications can have positive or negative interactions, so this is definitely talk to your vet situation. But this research is still important because it adds to a much bigger conversation happening in the cannabis science. One looking at whether cannabinoids may someday play a role in helping fight different forms of cancer, not just managing symptoms like pain or nausea. And for pet owners facing heartbreaking diagnosis, even the possibility of better supportive care gives people something worth watching for. And I just want to let everybody know, I know we talk a lot about dogs, but I did do some research on cats, and I will have some cat information about cannabis and cats soon. So just so you know, I've never owned a cat, but our kids do, so I love their cats, so I have to
give them support.
Give them a little bit of support, a little bit of love. So we live in the sticks now, just to let everybody know. Been a little different out here.
You hear what I hear, right?
Huh?
You hear what I hear.
Oh, that's what I'm about to say. So if you all, I don't know if you all will hear this, but we turned the lights on in the studio, and yesterday evening when I was working on the podcast, today's show, the Beatles come out at night. The Beatles come out at night. I mean, I've seen June bugs before, and it's not even June in our old home. But this is like holy schmolies, guacamole. I mean, there's some like pounding on the windows, trying to get to the light.
Bop, 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 all night long on the windows.
Yeah, all night long.
And they're like big June buggy beetles.
Oh, yeah, monsters.
And they're just bouncing off the windows all night long.
We have a light out front in the driveway that is on the ground facing the driveway. And last night I went out there, I called Mrs. Weedman over. I said, there's a concert going on in our driveway right now. I said, well, she goes, what do you mean? I said, come out there and look. And there was probably, I couldn't even tell you how many there were. They
looked like an audience at a concert.
And like someone were on their back and their legs were going up and down, and they were like,
and then it was like popcorn. Every once in a while, one would pop up and fly around in the light and crash back down. And another guy would pop up, fly around, crash down.
This ain't no joke. There's a lot of motherfucking Beatles. A lot of Beatles.
And there's no sign of them in the morning.
None.
They're gone.
They're gone. So it's kind of funny. But if you hear anything popping on the window, it's a big old June bug hitting the.
We get a lot of birds flying into the windows too. You'll just be sitting in a room and you just hear a thud.
Well, yeah.
The glass.
There's a lot of birds on this property. It's pretty sweet. I wish they were out at night though, eating these beetles though. That's for sure. So, I've smoked spleefs before in the past, not much, but here and there. If someone rolled one, I'd try it. We knew some people that used to love adding weed to their adding tobacco to their weed and their bongs. Remember, we talked about them on the show a long time ago. And I know a lot of people love spleefs. They love mixing weed and tobacco together. Just their jam. But reading some articles this week and finding out combining cannabis and tobacco triples the psychosis risk.
Yeah, and there's some important details within that. Very important details. So we'll get to that. So this story digs into something researchers are watching closely when it comes to cannabis and mental health, especially when tobacco enters the mix. And before anyone panics, this is one of those correlation and risk conversations, not a blanket statement about every cannabis consumer. So, research highlighted in Neuroscience News found that people who regularly use both cannabis and tobacco may face a significantly higher risk of developing psychosis-related disorders, especially individuals already considered clinically high risk. All right, so we've already taken it away from just tobacco
Yes.
and cannabis.
Yes.
Now it's predisposed to mental health conditions and also you're a tobacco consumer as well. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I smoked cigarettes for a long time and smoked weed for a long time. Smoked spliffs together. I don't see no problem with, well, maybe a little bit crazy, but that's about it.
The study suggests combining the two substances could nearly triple the psychosis risk in vulnerable populations, with researchers pointing toward possible synergistic effects that happen in the brain when nicotine and THC are used together. Scientists are saying that tobacco may increase THC absorption, which could intensify cannabis's psychoactive effects. But researchers were also careful to say this doesn't prove that cannabis or tobacco directly cause psychosis in everyone. Got that? This isn't about everybody. Genetics, mental health history, age of use, and frequency likely matter too. Earlier brain studies have linked heavy cannabis dependence, especially when use starts young, to changes in the reward and dopamine systems associated with a psychosis risk. So the bottom line is, uh, this is not information meant to give reefer madness all over again,
Right.
right? This is just harm reduction. It's just the more you know, the safer you are. Researchers are saying if somebody already has mental health vulnerabilities, especially around psychosis or schizophrenia, mixing tobacco and cannabis may be something worth thinking twice about. So just knowledge is
Knowledge is
power.
power. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not for the normal that use it every day. I mean, I know somebody that smokes spliffs every day.
Mhm.
They love it. It
That's
gives
just
them
how
that.
they consume
Just
all
gives
day.
them their head right. Gets in their head. They feel it. They feel
Mhm.
it wakes them up. And like I said, I've tried it. I've tried it sometimes a few times, and I liked it. And a couple times it gave me like too much of a head rush.
Mhm.
Like, oh, okay, I'm good. I need to sit down.
Mhm.
Kind of like you ever drink too much and you're kind of buzzed or drunk, not even buzzed, drunk, like straight up drunk, and then you smoked a cigarette and you just
Blech.
yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
know it. Head spins and you're like,
Blech.
oh man, I'm done. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that's the worst feeling ever.
That
when
is terrible.
Oh God.
I always said the cigarette hangover was worse than the
Whew.
booze.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
so all the growers in the room, this one's for you. We all dream of chunky, frosty colas that look like they belong on a magazine cover. But there's one thing that can turn months of hard work into heartbreak real quick. Bud rot,
Ooh.
also known as botrytis. And trust me, this stuff is basically the horror movie villain of growing cannabis. A recent breakdown from the International High Life dug into a serious health risk beyond botrytis cannabis bud rot, and the message is simple. If your bud is moldy, don't smoke it. I know. Every grower listening just felt pain in their soul hearing this. But this isn't one of those, maybe it's fine situation. Moldy cannabis can come with real respiratory risk. So first things first, what exactly is bud rot? Bud rot is a fungal infection caused by Botrytis cinerea, a mold that thrives in humid, moist, poorly ventilated environments, especially during flowering when bud gets dense and sticky. The scary part, it often starts inside the cola, meaning your plant can look beautiful on the outside while slowly rotting from the inside out. By the time you notice something's wrong, the mold may have already spread. Here's some classic warning signs growers should watch out for. Brown or gray patches inside buds. Dead or crispy sugar leaves sticking out weirdly. A musty, funky smell that feels just a little off. Buds becoming soft, crumbly, or dusty inside. White or gray fuzzy mold appearing on the flower material. One of the sneakiest clues, a random sugar leaf turning brown while everything else is looking healthy. That tiny leaf can be your plant waving a distress flag like, help me, before it spreads. Now, here's the $1 million question newbie growers always ask. Can I still smoke it if I cut the bad part off? Experts say, don't risk it. Even if only part of the bud looks infected, mold spores can spread microscopically into areas that still appear normal. Smoking contaminated flower may irritate your lungs and in some cases expose people to fungal spores or toxins. especially risky for anyone with asthma, weakened immune systems, or respiratory issues. Researchers and cultivation experts generally recommend tossing infected portions rather than trying to salvage them. And if you're thinking, fine, I'll just turn it into hash or edibles, the growing community gets real cautious here too. Many experienced cultivators online say mold contamination just isn't worth gambling with the harvest. One grower summed it up perfectly. You can always grow more green. Lungs, not too much. Community census leans toward better safety than sorry. So how do growers avoid this nightmare? The biggest prevention tricks are surprisingly simple. Keep humidity in check, especially late flower. Increase airflow with fans. Big Earl always talks about airflow. So listen to the Grow Hour if you want to learn about that. He talks about airflow till he's red and blue and green in the face. With fans and spacing between plants. Inspect buds regularly, especially thick colas. Avoid trapped moisture and overcrowded canopies. And clean tools if you remove infected materials because spores travel fast. High humidity, especially roughly around 55 to 60% during flowering, dramatically raises risk. At the end of the day, bud rot is one of those harsh grower lessons nobody wants to learn the hard way. You do everything right for months and still lose beautiful buds to the moisture and mold. But knowing the signs early can mean the difference between losing one cola or losing the whole harvest. And take a listen to the Grow Hour. I know we've talked about, Big Earl has done great jobs talking about airflow and clean space, and we've had people on the show talking about this. So take a listen to the Grow Hour. We come out with a new episode every month. So, and Big Earl is the man.
He is a wealth of knowledge.
Yes. So medical marijuana helps pain patients reduce the use of opioids from a new study.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Again, this is another perspective on a similar topic. We talk about this a lot because a lot of our audience is looking for answers on these types of topics. So if any of you are dealing with chronic pain, doesn't necessarily mean that you've been given a prescription for opioids, but there's a good chance that if pain is in your medical, whatever, if you're dealing with it, at some point you may be introduced to opioids and you may be telling the doctor, I don't want them.
Makes me happy. We had a message, I think it was on YouTube from somebody. I want to thank you for sending a nice DM about getting off opioids and being on cannabis now for years, and it's changed their life. So congratulations. Thanks for telling us your story. I appreciate it. So shout out to you.
Yeah. So this is a new study that is talking about how patients are using cannabis to get off of opioids. The article is about something a lot of patients and honestly a lot of cannabis advocates have been talking about for years. Can medical marijuana help people really rely less on opioids for pain management? A new study says yes. According to this study, covered by Marijuana Moment, chronic pain patients using medical cannabis showed promising reductions in opioid use over a 5-month period. Researchers followed 29 long-term pain patients, many of whom had been dealing with pain for over a decade and had struggled to reduce opioid use before entering the study. Here's the headline. About 24% of participants stopped using opioids completely. That's huge. And average opioid use dropped significantly from roughly 47 morphine milligram equivalents per day down to around 16 after introducing medical cannabis. Researchers also reported pain scores improved over time, suggesting people weren't just quitting opioids and suffering through it. They were still getting symptom relief. One interesting twist: researchers removed cost barriers to medical cannabis during the study because many patients said affordability stopped them from trying it in the first place. The authors called cannabis a possible harm reduction tool. How about that after years of DARE calling it the cause of all harm, right? It's the source. Yeah. But they were careful with that conclusion because it was a small study with no control group, meaning bigger research is needed before comfortably making sweeping claims. Science keeps pointing toward cannabis potentially helping some chronic pain patients cut back on opioids, but researchers say we still need larger studies to fully understand who benefits most and how to use it safely as a pain prevention tool. Yeah.
That's
I
good stuff.
yeah. Yeah.
And hearing from, from people that have reached out and sent us DMs and messages and emails and stuff about opioid addiction and getting off it because of cannabis, it's truly amazing.
Yep.
And to hear their stories, and I thank you for sharing, everybody. And the last one we just got to, and we also had someone reach out about our last episode too when we talked about microdosing, and this person was saying, have they been microdosing now? And it's really helped them out too. So we love you out there. Thanks for keep on sending us those messages. We appreciate it. Political state and business news. Looks like 2026 could be the big legalization year, with several states still in play for adult use cannabis. States like Idaho, Kansas, South Carolina remain long shots, while places like Pennsylvania, Hawaii are being watched closely. Translation: cannabis legalization is moving slower than Stone or trying to find the TV remote, but it's still moving. The cannabis business world is seeing a slowdown, with the number of active cannabis licenses declining for more than 2 straight years. Industry experts point to tight regulations, oversupply, taxes, and smaller operators struggling to survive. Small businesses are thriving. Others are learning that the cannabis market ain't all sunshine and free samples. The green rush got some folks walking and some folks sprinting to the exit. A new opinion piece says Trump's recent medical marijuana messaging aimed at seniors could help older adults seeking relief for pain and illness, but poor coordination could spark confusion or backlash. Supporters say seniors are becoming one of the fastest growing cannabis groups. Turns out grandma might be asking for gummies before cookies these days. A new report says older adults are increasingly interested in cannabis edibles, especially for pain. I think I just read that, didn't I? Nope. Pain and sleep and relaxation. Experts say seniors are turning to products with lower doses and easier consumption methods. Grandpa used to complain about loud music. Now he's asking if anybody bought indica brownies to the bingo night. Big changes in Georgia medical marijuana programs are on the way after governors signed a bill expanding access. The law allows vaping medical cannabis and adds more qualifying conditions for patients. Georgia patients are basically saying, about time, y'all. Stop acting like relief is illegal. Iowa bill to double the number of medical marijuana dispensaries is headed to the governor's desk. Supporters say more locations can improve access for patients who currently drive long distance for medicine, because nobody's dealing with pain wants to take a road trip just to pick up relief. Cannabis and hemp businesses are bracing for possible federal hemp law changes, with experts warning operators to prepare now for shifting rules. Businesses are being told to tighten compliance, labeling, and testing practices. One congresswoman says it's about damn time the federal government catches up to voters on the marijuana legalization, pointing to overwhelming public support nationwide. More lawmakers are openly calling for reform as states continue legalizing. America right now, we legalize sports betting faster than weed. Crazy. A new report says Nevada could be missing out on $80 million a year by keeping cannabis and gaming industries separated. Some believe cannabis-friendly casino spaces could boost tourism revenue. Las Vegas really said, you can lose your rent money here, but no joints at the slot machines. A congressional committee is urging the DEA to crack down on unregulated cannabis products, especially hemp-derived items, raising safety concerns. Lawmakers say inconsistent testing and labeling may put consumers at risk. Basically, they're saying, if the packaging looks like a cartoon spaceship and glows in the dark, maybe ask the question first. Now over to you, passing that joint, Mrs. Weedman.
You would like the joint?
No, not yet. Not yet. I will soon, though.
Just the joint of speech. All right, to political, state, and business news. We're going to start with New York. Their legal weed market is booming, reportedly topping $5 million a day in sales, but experts say the illegal market could still be up to 10 times larger. Licensed businesses say untaxed competition remains a huge problem. A New Jersey doctor is pushing for expanded medical cannabis access for minors, saying some patients with severe conditions could benefit under careful medical supervision. Supporters stress this would involve strict oversight and definitely parental involvement. Jersey lawmakers are still debating how to balance access, safety, and medical needs. Congresswoman Elon Omar spoke out in support of cannabis reform, saying marijuana laws need modernization and communities harmed by prohibition deserve attention. As more politicians get louder on legalization, Omar said, "We can update our phones every year. Maybe we need to update the weed laws too."
She also
That's
said there's
right.
a lot of people in Congress that smoke weed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A new proposal in Louisiana would create a government task force to study marijuana legalization, potentially laying groundwork for future adult use reform. The conversations are happening, but Louisiana's acting like they gotta hold 2 cookouts and a parade before they can even make weed legal. Just do it already. Just do it, would you? A recent cannabis focused opinion piece argues the upcoming 2026 elections may matter more than any single marijuana bill in Congress because whoever voters elect could shape reform for years. Cannabis advocates are being told to pay attention at the ballot box. Virginia's governor signed a marijuana resentencing bill, opening the door for people impacted by older cannabis convictions to potentially receive sentencing relief. Lawmakers rejected several proposed amendments before ultimately moving it forward, marking another step in cannabis reform. Cannabis advocates in Washington, D.C. gathered demanding the release of people still incarcerated over marijuana related offenses. Protesters say legalization means little if people remain behind bars for actions now considered legal. Imagine still doing time while somebody else is selling weed with a client rewards app. Ironic, right? Cannabis investment company Apollo made headlines with a major business move, signaling that some investors still see long-term potential, despite ongoing market struggles and financial shakeups. Even with the industry feeling like a constant plot twist, somebody apparently looked at cannabis and said, "Yeah, let's put our money there." It's a risky, risky world, isn't it?
A little bit.
Cannabis. A Delaware court ruling may broaden bankruptcy relief for cannabis companies, potentially giving struggling businesses more legal options to reorganize their debt. Industry watchers say this could be a meaningful shift. Michigan, cannabis tourism just got a glow up with a company launching behind the scenes marijuana cultivation tours so cannabis fans can see how the magic happens. Think winery tours, but greener and with way more questions about trichomes. It's giving field trip energy, except nobody's sneaking snacks they can just munch out all they want. The U.S. House voted to let military veterans receive medical marijuana recommendations from VA doctors, a move supporters say could improve access for vets dealing with pain, PTSD, and other conditions. Thousands of veterans have pushed for this change for years. Imagine serving your country and still having to play hide and seek for relief. A new proposal could mean marijuana consumers may legally own firearms for the first time in decades as lawmakers debate ending long-standing federal restrictions tied to cannabis use. Supporters argue legal cannabis consumers shouldn't lose constitutional rights, and I think they're right. Mr. Weedman, it's back over to you.
Nice. More political, state, and business news. A new data breakdown shows daily cannabis use in America now rivals, and in some groups surpasses daily alcohol use, highlighting major shifts in consumer habits. Analysts say younger adults especially are rethinking drinking culture. America said, really? Hangover? Nah, we'll take the snacks and the nap instead. Flashback time. A 1976 marijuana march in New York City reportedly brought hundreds together, with protesters openly smoking during a parade through Central Park demanding legalization reform. Nearly 50 years later, cannabis culture looks way different. Imagine explaining to 1976 stoners that dispensaries would someday have loyalty points. Some New Jersey police officers fired over an off-duty marijuana use still haven't been reinstated yet, even after the court ruling reportedly sided with them. The case highlights growing tensions between state cannabis laws and workplace policies. New Jersey said, we legalized it, but don't get too comfortable. This weekend, I watched the the MMA fights with Ronda Rousey and Nate Diaz. So and a few other there were some good fights. So, but UFC champ Bella Muhammad took shots at Nate Diaz after Diaz lost to Mike Perry, and Mike Perry mopped him up. And I'm a big Nate Diaz fan, but he did not look like the Nate Diaz of young. And Mike Perry, joking, he said should have actually worked out and trained instead of smoking weed. MMA Trash Talks says stays undefeated. Somewhere Nate probably shrugged and said, "Cool story. Now pass me the joint." Maryland's governor signed new cannabis legalization and impacting dispensary licenses, micro businesses, employer rules, and training programs. Supporters say it could improve structure and expand opportunities in the state's legal market. Maryland cannabis be like, "Congrats, you're legal. Now here's 400 pages of paperwork." Alabama, finally Roll Tide. Alabama medical marijuana sales are finally about to begin, with the state's first dispensary reportedly preparing to open its doors after years of delays and legal setbacks. Alabama patients are basically standing outside like, "Y'all had us waiting longer than a DMV appointment." But I think it's supposed to open up this weekend maybe. Yeah, finally Alabama. Weed has come home. A new analyst suggests cannabis legalization may be linked to lower crime rates in some areas, challenging long-standing fears around reform. Researchers say results vary by region, but trends are worth watching. Turns out legal weed might cause fewer problems than Uncle Larry after 3 beers at Thanksgiving. A new report says Trump continues sending mixed messages on marijuana, supporting medical cannabis at times while staying less clear on broader legalization. Political observers say cannabis voters are paying attention. Cannabis policy and politics right now feels like a relationship that says it's complicated. The TSA, Mrs. Weedman sent me this. The TSA says some medical marijuana patients may be able to fly with cannabis, but legal experts warn rules remain confusing and depend heavily on state and federal overlap. Translation: before packing the bag, maybe triple check instead of explaining things at the airport security at 6 a.m. And that's political state and business news, everyone. We're going to light this joint up.
All right.
While Mrs. Weedman is going to talk to you about something that Mr. Weedman has talked about for a very long time in the cannabis market, and pre-rolls.
Yep.
What separates top shelf pre-rolls separates top shelf pre-rolls from the rest?
Yes.
Tell us about it, Mrs. Weedman.
This one is for the folks who love their fresh flower. They aren't trying to smoke a dry, crunchy pre-roll that tastes like sadness. Let's talk about storage, because your joints deserve better living conditions too. A new article from Green State says if you're spending money on quality pre-rolls, storing them properly actually matters. Experts recommend keeping pre-rolls in a 8 decades mirror and violet jar with a humidity pack. No, I'm sorry. Did that just happen? Experts recommend
Great plug.
keeping pre-rolls in a humidor or humidity-controlled environment, ideally around 58 to 62% relative humidity, to help preserve flavor, aroma, and potency. When it's too dry, your flower can burn harshly and lose terpene flavor. Too humid, you risk mold and poor combustion. The article points out that temperature and light matter too. Heat, sunlight, and constantly opening containers can slowly degrade cannabinoids and terpenes over time. So leaving your pre-roll tube baking in the hot car or sitting on a sunny windowsill is not doing your stash any favors. Ugh. One tip experts mention is using humidity packs or airtight storage made specifically for cannabis, like 8 decades violet jars, to help maintain consistency. And no, your kitchen junk drawer isn't technically a humidor, no matter how much confidence you have in it. If you care about flavor and freshness, proper storage can help your pre-rolls smoke better and stay enjoyable longer. Think of it like keeping good coffee fresh. Same vibe, different plant.
Yes, we love good fresh weed. Also, really good fresh coffee.
Yes.
Every time I open up our mug cabinet to get a coffee mug,
grind it weekly.
Mrs. Weedman's freshly ground coffee right next to the freshly ground weed on the tray. Both smell fantastic, Mrs. Weedman.
Yes.
And International news. Authorities overseas reportedly seized a massive shipment of suspected cannabis during a drug bust, with dramatic videos showing officials intercepting the stash. International smuggling stories never stop getting wild. Somewhere, somebody definitely looked at the news and whispered, "Welp, there goes the vacation fund." Researchers in Israel are exploring new cannabis-related health science, continuing this country's long history of marijuana medical research. Scientists say cannabinoids may still hold untapped therapeutic potential for different conditions. Israel says in the lab, like, what if weed could do that too?
Mhm.
While the rest of us are just trying to remember where we put our lighter. France is preparing to ban CBD edibles. What? Tightening enforcement around European Union novel food regulations. Gummies, drinks, and infused snacks could face tougher restrictions, frustrating hemp businesses and consumers. France really said oi oi to wine and to cheese, but maybe not to the CBD gummy bear.
They said oi oi.
Yeah, I think they said
Oui, oui.
oui, oui. Thank you.
I love you. Oi oi.
And that's the way I
Oi, oi,
that's the
oi.
way I spelled it. I'm an old
It's
school
cute.
punk. Sorry, everybody. I don't speak French.
You just saw an opportunity to say that, and you're like, yes, it really says that in here? Wow. Oi.
Oh, shit. I got tears coming out of my eyes. That was a good one. Thanks, Mrs. Weedman.
Uh-huh.
You called it out perfectly, too.
Yeah.
So it's wee wee?
Oui, oui.
Wee wee.
Yeah.
Big news out of Colombia, where lawmakers reportedly approved a bill to legalize marijuana, pushing the country closer to major cannabis reform. Supporters say legalization could reduce illicit markets and boost economic opportunity. Colombia said maybe regulation works better than pretending people aren't already smoking. A new report out of the United Kingdom says medical cannabis patients are still struggling to access treatment years after legalization, citing high costs, limited prescriptions, and red tape. Patients say from happened on paper, not always in real life. UK patients like, cool, so it's kind of legalish. Reggae artist Marlon Asher is celebrating 20 years of his iconic anthem, Ganja Farmer. With a new EP release, cannabis culture and reggae continues to going hand in hand worldwide. 20 years later, and stoners still hear Ganja Farmer and instantly start nodding like it's their national anthem. Leso is overhauling its cannabis regulations with new oversight rules expected soon as officials work to strengthen the country's legal cannabis industry. Industry watchers say clearer rules may attract more investment. Lesotho looked at cannabis policy and said, all right, y'all, let's get organized before this turns into chaos. In the United Kingdom, advocates say accessing medical cannabis remains frustrating despite legalization victories years ago. High cost, limited NHS access continue creating barriers for patients seeking relief. Folks fought hard for legalization only to find out that the next battle was paperwork, the ultimate buzzkill. That's international news, everybody. Now, Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman?
Have you ever tried to hide that you were stoned?
Yes.
And how well have you done?
I think I just tend to get too in my head thinking that people think I'm so stoned, but I think most oftentimes people have no idea that I'm stoned. What do you think?
I'm with you when we smoke. I mean, we smoke
Sometimes
all the
if
time.
I'm on like a slumpy stoner.
At
like,
night, I know you're stoned.
Oh,
but
yeah.
during the day when you're doing your microdosing, I can't tell
Can't
at all.
tell.
Not at all. No. But in the evening, we smoke a whole fucking joint, take 2 edibles, and we're fucking going to bed. So we're stony baloney.
Big.
We want to go to sleep. But during the day, Mrs. Weedman microdoses, and you wouldn't even know at all. So that I know of, that I can tell, you know. But there's some people out there that they can really hide their high, and there's some people out there, according to, they're going to teach you, and they have it down to a science. And Ms. Weedman is going to tell you about it right now.
Yep.
Tell us and finish up, Ms.
This
Weedman.
article is a fun one and maybe a little relatable for some people out there. Do you ever wonder if everyone really knows that you're high, or if you're convincing yourself they do? Does that even make sense? Because I'm high. Did that make sense?
It did.
Okay, good. Moving on.
If you were smoking out there, you definitely made sense.
It totally made sense to you. Well, apparently, some seasoned consumers have developed a whole science for staying low key. According to a High Times culture piece, experienced cannabis users shared their go-to tricks for hiding their high in public or professional settings. The biggest themes: hydration, eye drops, chewing gum, and confidence. Yes, totally, all of that. People said dry mouth, red eyes, and acting overly paranoid are usually the biggest giveaways, not necessarily the smell. So staying calm and acting normal tends to go a lot further than overcompensating. Another common tip was mind your dose. Several people said avoiding too much too fast is key if you're trying to remain functional. Consider not testing your limits right before a family dinner, work meeting, or that quick run into the store that somehow turns into a full social interaction. Because, of course, that's the time when you run into somebody, right? When you're baked out of your gourd and you just look like a hot mess. And you're like, oh, right, I haven't seen you in 20 years. Hi, here I am, baked. You want to talk? Great. Oh, great. Let's have a conversation.
Didn't that happen to you one time?
Probably.
We were out somewhere and you saw somebody you hadn't seen in like, I don't know, years.
And I was so baked.
And we were very high. And we got done, you got done talking. we were driving home. We're like, oh my God, that was terrible. I couldn't concentrate. They probably thought I was nuts and crazy. And I was just like, I was just trying to have a conversation. And I was in the car.
Couldn't find my words.
I was laughing my ass off in the car all the way home.
So these stoners that are offering some advice, they have some practical takeaways too. Know your environment and consume responsibly. If you've got important obligations, if driving is involved, or you have safety concerns, it's probably not the moment to experiment with your tolerance. The folks who have it down to a science seem to agree. It's all about less panic and more preparation. Easy.
Easy there.
Yeah.
Just
be easy.
Yeah. It's not easy being cheesy. For
some.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, what a great show, Ms. Weedman.
Great show.
I'd like to ask you, do you have anything else to say?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me if I would be your girlfriend.
Oh.
What were we going to ask? I just wanted to ask you.
Will you be my girlfriend?
I'll think about it. Can I get back to you tomorrow?
Yeah, shoot me a DM, will you? That's how it goes nowadays, right? Yeah, will you be my girlfriend? A text message with funny emojis, and I don't know. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Let me think about it. I'm kind of busy right now. I can't focus on that. Give me 24 hours.
Oh, shit. Well, do you got anything else to say before we go?
Do we have a holiday coming up? Is this
Memorial Weekend?
Yeah.
It's coming up. Yeah, here in the States.
Yeah.
Memorial Weekend.
Everybody. So, yeah, next week when we talk to you, it'll be after the Memorial Weekend. So be safe if you're getting together. Have some fun. Pack some J's. Bring some of your best flour and share it with a friend who's never had it before. And tell them about our show.
Yes.
Because sharing is caring.
Yes.
Pass a joint and pass the word. Watch the Weedman 420 Chronicles podcast.
Yes, please.
Because
that'd be amazing.
we just want more people to know about what we do, and we definitely like feedback. So tell us what you'd like to see more or less of. Yeah.
More.
Well, I mean, you
More.
know, like within reason.
Yeah. We don't change much. we're OGs.
Yeah.
You know, we've been doing
But
this
we
for
like
a while
to hear
now.
your opinion.
Yeah, we do love hearing stories, and we thank you for that. But here's the biggest thing: the more you share this podcast, you're sharing knowledge. You're sharing knowledge that we research for weeks upon weeks and read and talk and study to help others learn. So share this podcast with folks if they want to learn. If some people, older adults, might not like the first 2 minutes of the show because of the talk about
language and
also like the strain that we talk about. You know, they're not used to that, talking about like the different strain names and what's in it. Tell them to get past the first 3 minutes and get to know us, and it'll change their perspective. You know, it's just that first like stoner moment of when we're talking about the strain. Most people, you know, if you're not a smoker, right, or
you might not be
connoisseur,
if you just do edibles, you're not really concerned necessarily with strain. You're looking more for effect.
Yep.
So, yeah, but now it just is more information. It's and it can become conversation for its talking points when you're trying to advocate for the plant. And together, each of us, if we open our mouth and say something positive about weed, we're just continuing to break down the barriers.
And stopping the stigma.
Yeah. And hopefully that gets back to the powers that be so that they can change the laws.
Yes.
Because everybody wants this plant to be available.
We want to free
So
this
talk
plant.
about it.
Yes. And subscribe to our YouTube too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need it. We love you.
Videos coming soon.
Yes, we'll be back soon. Got a couple more things to do, and hopefully in the next week or in 2 weeks, we'll have it ready to go. So everybody out there, we love the hell out of you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for just being you. Go out there and live some fucking life and have some fun. You only live once. Go do it. Be kind to others. We need some peace, love, happiness. As Paulie always says, smoke smart. Puff, puff, and away.
Puff, puff, pass.
Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.